We've all heard the same parenting advice. Just be consistent. Set clear boundaries. They need natural consequences. If you just follow through, they'll learn. We've heard it all. You've tried all of it. And if you're parenting a neurodivergent child, whether that's ADHD, autism, giftedness, anxiety, learning disability, some kind of combination, you've probably felt like a failure because none of it worked the way the books promised. I'm here to tell you, you did not fail. The advice failed you. I'm Amanda from Insight Education Academy. Welcome to Insights from Insight. Subscribe and hit that bell. Today, we're talking about why the standard parenting playbook breaks down and what actually works. The number one piece of parenting advice in the world is be consistent. And on the surface, it makes sense. Kids need predictability, routines help, structure does matter. But here's what the consistency crowd doesn't account for. Neurodivergent brains don't respond to the same input the same way every time. A neurotypical child might push a boundary, get a consequence, and adjust their behavior next time. Cause, effect, and adaptation. The system works. A child with ADHD might push the same boundary, get the same consequence, and do the exact same thing tomorrow. Not because they're defiant, but because their working memory didn't connect yesterday's consequences with today's impulse. Dr. Russell Barkley's research makes this super clear. ADHD is not a knowledge deficit. These kids know the rules. It's a performance deficit. They can't consistently access what they know at the moment they need it. So when you're consistent with consequences and your child still does the same thing, you feel like you're failing. But the strategy was never designed for a brain that works this way. Another place traditional advice breaks down is with emotional regulation. Standard parenting wisdom says things like ignore the tantrum, or don't give in to the meltdown, or they need to learn to manage their emotions. But a meltdown and a tantrum are not the same thing. A tantrum is goal-directed behavior. A child throws a tantrum because they want something, and they've learned that escalating gets results. Ignoring it can work because you're removing the reward. During a tantrum, your child will probably keep their eyes on you, hoping that you'll give in. A meltdown is a nervous system event. A child in meltdown has lost access to their rational brain. Their body has gone into fight, flight, or freeze, and they're not choosing this behavior. They are being hijacked by it. Again, if you look at your kid's eyes, they will probably be closed or covered in an attempt to limit visual input. Ignoring a meltdown doesn't teach emotional regulation. It teaches a child that when their brain betrays them, they're alone. Neurodivergent children are significantly more likely to experience genuine meltdowns because their sensory processing, emotional regulation, and executive function systems are wired differently. The traditional advice of ignoring it and it'll stop can actually make things worse by increasing the child's stress response over time. So what works instead? Co-regulation. You stay calm, you stay close, and you help their nervous system borrow yours until the storm passes. Then and only then, you can talk about what happened and what to do differently next time. So if the standard playbook doesn't fit, what does? Here's what 20 plus years in education and 13 years of parenting has taught me. First, accommodate the brain and then build the skill. Accommodations are not giving up. A checklist is not lowering expectations. A visual timer is not babying your child. These tools are how you meet a brain where it is so it can grow to where it's going. Researchers call this scaffolding, and the evidence is overwhelming that it leads to greater independence over time, not less. Second, look at the environment before the child. When a neurodivergent child is struggling, the first question shouldn't be, what's wrong with them? It should be, what's wrong with the environment? Is it too loud, too unstructured? Are the instructions unclear? Is there too much sensory input? Changing the environment is faster, more effective, and less damaging than trying to change the child. Third, replace won't with can't yet. This one shift changes everything. When you assume your child won't do something, you respond with a consequence and frustration. When you assume they can't do something yet, you respond with support and scaffolding. And here's the key. You can always add accountability later once you've confirmed that the skill is actually there. But you can't undo the damage of punishing a child for something their brain couldn't do. Fourth, find your people. Neurodivergent parenting is isolating. The other parents at school don't get it. Your own parents don't get it. The parenting Instagram accounts with perfectly organized playrooms definitely don't get it. Find a community of parents who are living with the same reality. It's not about advice, it's about being understood. Insight Education Academy courses come with a built-in virtual community where you can find parents who are struggling with the same things. Here's what I want you to take away from this. If the parenting books don't work for your family, it's not because you're a bad parent. It's because those books were written for a different brain. Your child's brain is wired differently. That means the strategies need to be different too. Not lower standards, different approaches to the same goals. I spent 20 plus years watching families struggle with this exact disconnect. Amazing parents feeling like failures because the advice was never designed for their child. That's why I built the Burnout Blueprint, an 8-module course that teaches you the brain science behind executive function and gives you real strategies that work with neurotypical and neurodivergent brains instead of against them. If you're interested, the link is in the description. And if you're not ready for that, start with the free default parent reset guide, also in the description. One more thing, I'm currently building versions of the Burnout Blueprint specifically for teens, a high school version and a middle school version. If you want first access when those launch, drop a comment below saying teen, and I'll make sure you're the first to know. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week when we talk about the hidden cost of being the default parent. That one's gonna hit. Subscribe so you don't miss it.